Hi guys, welcome to my channel. As we have already been discussing backstage, today I would like to uh, talk about the relevance of CV in job or scholarship application. Thank you for joining. I'm giving some about 2 to 3 minutes to allow for other members to join so that they don't miss out on some fundamental um, points that will be necessary to understand as we progress through the session. All right, just give me some 2 more minutes and then we can start with our topic. I just want to allow some few minutes for other people to join us. Hi guys, can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, you can put in the comment section so that I know that I'm talking to I'm not talking in vain. All right, thank you. So I will commence the section. We're going to talk about how relevant or what admission committee members look out for in a CV if you are using it as a tool for your graduate school application, or what employers look out for if you are using your CV for job hunting or for job application. I think that the focus will be more towards studying abroad, and where there is a difference between what to do regarding job application, tailored CV, or uh, we would I would give some few highlights in that regard. Otherwise, where they merge or where the information is not supposed to be different, I wouldn't bother highlighting that. So let's get started. Basically, here we're talking about a CV as a critical document in scholarship and job application. It serves as a professional and academic profile. So, what experts have to say is that a poorly constructed CV can severely impact one's chance or chances of being admitted to a graduate program. And this is because of several reasons, which we would look at subsequently. But before we look at what are the considerations that your recruiter, in terms of school or in terms of job, would consider you or not consider you for even interview, the reasons we're going to dive into after this session. So, if you want to craft CV, irrespective of it being a job CV or um, school application CV, the following seven elements should be present. First is contact information, and with contact information, you should make sure that it is up to date. If you will not have any other opportunity to provide information such as telephone number and email address, and the only means is on your CV, and let's say that you have changed telephone number or you have changed an email address, it will mean that if your potential employer has to contact you through any of these means, you're going to miss the opportunity because you're no longer using the email or the telephone number. So please make sure that it is up to date. Again, um, you can put physical address if you have that one also on that in the contact section. However, what you should avoid, if not a requirement for a particular country or region, you should avoid adding your photo. Sometimes I feel that application for a job or ideally for school is not, I would say, one, the CV is not an identification a document, so you don't need to have a photo there. Secondly, application for schools and job is not based on the physical appearance of a person. It should be based on competence in terms of skills and professionalism and knowledge. And so, except few areas where the potential employer is requesting for um, picture, generally you have to overlook that. Secondly, especially in the USA and Canada, you are not expected to put your marital status, your number of children, and age there. Especially if the program you are applying to or the job you are applying to has not given any age category which qualifies, you have to save yourself that, because you might have all the competencies, but let's say you are 35 and another person might be 25 and you are competing the same. Probably the potential employer is looking for longevity in terms of the person they're going to contact. So the age might disqualify you in the first place if you have the same credentials or qualification as the person with 25 years of age. All right. So don't include your date of birth or your age. Don't include your marital status and the number of children you have. And ideally, don't include your photo. Um, the second point is objective or profile. It should be concise. It should be, it should state your goal or your strength. And after going through this document, I'm going to also share some uh, sample CVs that I have with me from uh, other members or individuals to guide or to discuss further what I mean by this. It should be optional. You don't necessarily have to have it. And if you are not sure of what to put there, or you are not convinced that what you are putting there will give you an advantage, then don't put it at all. Because I consider this part like I don't know if most of you are familiar with research paper. A research paper or even project work must have an abstract. And for example, if I am looking for a specific information in a paper or published document, and use it subsequently, the first thing I do is to read the abstract. If the abstract doesn't contain the information I'm looking for, I don't bother myself going further. So what this means is that if I am a recruiter and I'm looking at your CV objective or profile, and it doesn't bring out the kind of information I need, I may not proceed further um, to look at your academic qualification, professional experiences, and other things. So be sure that what you are writing would be interested to the potential employer or admission officer to allow him go further down the uh, CV to read about other information. And then education, your academic background, if you have some honors or awards or some key significant achievements, you should state them, not in an elaborated way, but uh, um, quite concise way. For school, sorry, for graduate study, research is an integral part of it, unless probably you are going for a master's and you are not choosing the thesis option. Then you don't need to worry about having some basic research experience. However, if you are going for PhD, you should state your research and work experiences. And here I would say that it should be relevant research and work experiences, which means that probably I will just mention these points, and then as we go further, I can elaborate on the various points. And then also, you should talk about the skills that you bring on board, be it job related skills or academic related skills. We have what we call the technical skills and then the soft skills. The soft skills are also called transferable skills, and we would have a look at what that is. And then if you have any awards or publication, you should bring them out, because it will demonstrate your recognition and contribution to whichever field you are looking at, be it the job or academia. And then finally, you should have referees um, if required, you have to provide contacts for recommendation. And this is quite important because it also assures your employer or the admission office that you have people who are academically qualified to vouch for you or to um, um, commend you on your ability to pursue further studies or on your ability to perform well when you are ad- accepted for a certain position. So here we say that the admission committees carefully review an applicant's CV to evaluate their academic and professional qualifications and the alignment with the program and overall potential for success. For this point, I would want to reiterate that it is very important to know that your CV, your CV's alignment to the program you intend to study. And here I'm referring to those who are seeking opportunity to study abroad. That alignment should be there. And as we go further, you will understand why that alignment is supposed to be there. And so let's have a look. And overall potential for success. So let's see. I have some key items that the admission committee will look out for. And what I must say here also is that if it's about job also, then they are going to evaluate how your theoretical skills, that is what you gain from um, be it university or secondary school, whatsoever it is, how would that theoretical skills translate into practical application when you are offered that job? And also look at how your professional experiences align with the job that has been advertised or the job they intend to offer, and how you can succeed. And you can imagine how would an employer or how would a recruiter, admission officer evaluate your overall potential to succeed based on your CV? They will know because you're going to put um, certain information there, and by their judgment from those information, it should tell them that this is a candidate, this is an academic material, or this is a professional material for this particular field or area. So the first thing they look out for, and if you are applying for further studies, they look at academic excellence. And so they want to know your GPA. Most of you do not put your GPA. However, the advice is that if you have a PhD, sorry, if you have a GPA higher than 3.0, it is admonished to put it there, and especially for universities in the USA, some of them will state the minimum GPA required to apply, and then they can again state that, well, that is the minimum. It doesn't mean that if somebody has lower than what they have stated, you cannot apply. You can apply, because they would look at also other factors, or they will consider other factors prior to making decision on your application. So put it there, and if you had any award, put it there. If you graduated among the top 5, top 10 in your class or your badge, put it there. These are necessary. It gives an idea how your contribution in the academia, or how well you conducted yourself during the previous studies in terms of academic excellence. If you have any relevant coursework you know, during bachelor studies, you take several courses. I think I did agriculture, and I had maybe over 100 courses within the 4 years, right? I did agric I did agric economics, microeconomics, and macroeconomics. These were two different. I took courses in soil science, crop science, agriculture engineering, animal science, and so on and so forth. So basically, my agriculture background is very broad. Now imagine that I want to take my studies further to study agriculture economics at the uh, master's level. Now I don't need to list all my uh, courses in bachelor studies there. I can bring out courses that relates to the program I want to study, which are microeconomics and macroeconomics, which I did during my bachelor studies, and that should I should be able to show that with these courses, I have built the superficial knowledge or the foundation to be able to advance my studies in that field. So, relevant courses must not necessarily mean every course, depending on the program that you intend to study. And at this point, you should also understand that before you'll be able to uh, identify and list the relevant coursework, you should read about the program you want to study, the courses that you need, and for some admission information, they put out the background that the person should have prior to applying to the study. So you can get all this information and make it better. If you are interested in uh, thesis related programs, then it is important to highlight the title of your thesis or any project that you have been involved in under the academic excellence. When we come to research and research experience, um, you should look at the committee will definitely look at your experience in research, especially for PhD applicants. And again, those who are applying for masters with thesis option, they will look at this because PhD requires rigorous research activity. Uh, and so having a bit of information about this will be necessary. It might not necessarily be a research that has been published. You know, it might not be something that you did entirely on your own. It could be assisting your professor or your lecturer previously to collect data and organize data in Excel. It could be any contribution you rendered towards a particular research project. You know, it could be data analysis, whatsoever it is. You should indicate those experiences, especially where it aligns with the program of interest. And then beyond the research and projects or research projects, if you have managed to publish anything, you should indicate that. If you attended conference and you did any presentation, whether it was a poster presentation or oral presentation, you can um, highlight that. And this help them to understand that you are eager to contribute scholarly to the academic community. And these are some of the attributes they seek um, in a potential student or applicants who are seeking for funding. And as I have always indicated, scholarships are kind of investment, and the university would invest in people who bring value to their institution. And so it's not like they have money available for everybody to just come and take it. You have to demonstrate that you'll be given this. And sometimes some of you do think that by indicating that you are coming from a poor background is a qualification for uh, um, consideration for funding. Somebody can be so rich and then they can still get that scholarship because they have shown through their CV that they have the required skills, competencies, and knowledge to succeed, and that they would be awarded the position over somebody who doesn't show or present themselves in such a way that they are placed at an advantage, but only demonstrate that they need funding just because they come from poor background and stuff. No, we don't do it that way. All right, so let's continue. Again, technical skills, any relevant technical skills, whether it's proficiency in research tools. And when we talk about research tools, we it also includes it also includes um, tools that you use for data analysis. Okay, it also includes the ability to even search for research materials. For example, if you want to do a literature review, you want to see, you want to find information on that particular topic or publish document on that particular topic you want to do the literature review. How do you search for this information? You can use Google Scholar, you can use PubMed, you can use Web of Science. There are numerous um, platforms where you can search for this information. If you are conversant using any of this, you can put it there. If you are knowledgeable in a certain methodology for those in sciences, or if you are able to administer questionnaire or design and administer questionnaire, it's something about methodology, you can put them. If you have knowledge in statistical and data analysis, you can put that, and then you can indicate that I am able to use this software for my statistical analysis, for example, R programming, SPSS, and then Microsoft Office. And I would say that don't just put them there, because any information you put, they will take it seriously and consider you for that. And when you go and you don't have the knowledge, it will work against yourself. So in as much as we want to make our CVs rich, we should also think of upgrading ourselves to a certain position where our skills will not just be skills we are showing on the CV, but when we are called upon to demonstrate it, we will be able to demonstrate. And then regarding professional experiences, you might have several experiences because of the time point between your undergraduate studies and the time you are applying for the graduate studies. And sometimes you might not immediately find yourself in the profession in which you wanted, or the profession which aligns um, with your undergraduate studies. So you just do something just to survive, and eventually you find yourself um, in a certain profession that aligns with your further study goal. Here you have to consider the professional experiences that are relevant to your to the application you are making. I use myself as an example. I have worked for CocoaBot. I have worked as a teacher. I have worked as a research assistant. I have worked as a customer service person, um, and and then I have worked as a salesperson. And I have worked as a salesperson. Um, and I've worked also as a laboratory technician. If I am applying for uh, a research position, I bring out these. attributes, these work experiences that showcase my um, research skills and knowledge. I don't bring the kitchen stuff. And of course, here I want to emphasize that you might be in the customer service system, right? And you are applying for um, maybe a position in financial finance or auditing or whatever it is. However, there can be a quality that you developed or a skill that you developed under the customer care job that is transferable or that can be transferred to the new position. If you are going to work, if your auditing requires that you are going to work with clients, and then it's necessary to have that experience of good customer relations, and so you can draw from that job, that experience you got from that job, and leverage it for success in your auditing job. In the same way, if you are going to work in the lab, and for example, if you are applying for studies and the study requires that you work in a laboratory setting, you definitely going to also have colleagues that you have to relate with. And if you had a job in which you had to work as a team, work together at a point, and also still be able to work independently, you can still draw on these experiences to show that yes, when if I am admitted, I have this experience from this background, and this I can transfer to be successful in my laboratory work or responsibilities. Again, leadership and initiative. It's very important to be able to state if you have taken some leadership role or initiative. Doesn't matter how small it might be. Responsibilities and achievement, clear descriptions of tasks and their outcomes. Usually, from the sample CVs I have reviewed, and I still have, some of you state what you did when you were doing a particular kind of work, but you don't state the end results of what you did. You know, for example, if you're a teacher, you taught this in this subject, and you evaluated people, and at the end of their WASI or BCE, 90% of my students had the extension. You can state that that's the outcome of what you did. And so when you are talking about responsibilities, don't leave the achievement part there. Indicate what was the result. If you were a quality control person and you were in charge of repairing biomedical equipment in a certain institution, that was the responsibility. Did you achieve anything? Were you able to successfully maintain, manage, and also repair a certain number of PCR machines or whatever it is? You have to bring the outcome. You often leave that out. And then alignment with the program. Here again, we go back to the fact that you might have several experiences and several knowledge in different fields. How those knowledge and experiences align with the program of interest is key, is very key, and you have to prove to them. They don't have to go and search so hard to find out that your experiences and um, knowledge align with the program. You have to state categorically in plain words. The CV should support the goals outlined in your statement of purpose. And this, we may not have time to talk about statement of purpose today, but maybe in subsequent um, times we can look at it. When you are also applying, there is something called statement of purpose, and this statement of purpose, you talk about why you must be considered and what you intend, what's your purpose, what you intend to do, long-term goals and stuff. And they want to see some consistency between your statement of purpose and CV. If you are talking about wanting to do one thing in your statement of purpose, but nothing in your CV shows that you working towards achieving that, then you are doomed. And I know that in some countries, taking Ghana for example, sometimes you just want the job that will put the food on the table at the moment. So your work experiences and stuff may not um, directly relate with what you want to do. And so in this case, you still have the statement of purpose to prove that yes, this is the direction you would want to go, but due to this and that, you are not able to go that direction. But you have this experience and you are able to transfer that experience to be successful in the academic pursuit. And then later, in the next 5 years, you want to be this, and then for long term, you want to be um, a major contributor to your field of research or whatsoever it is. And again, if you have any awards or academic honors, like we have mentioned, you can put them. Sometimes some uh, universities appreciate some extracurricular and volunteering activities. For example, if you are applying for medicine in USA, apart from being academically excellent person, they expect you to shadow a professor, to shadow someone in the field, a doctor or something. This is because, oh, okay, Zoom. Are you watching from phone? So probably that's why it's a bit difficult to say. Ideally, a PC would be great. But I'm going to share this document with you. All those here, I'm going to share this document with you. So please, you can put your email addresses in the comment section, and then afterwards I will send this to you so that you can um, refer to them whenever necessary. All right. So you have to, like, as I was talking about in the USA, if you want to study medicine, as part of the requirement, they want to see that you are volunteering in the field. You have to work under a certain doctor, whether 6 weeks or how many weeks. That is something they look out for. They want to see your involvement in some community activities and initiatives. So whenever you have the opportunity, get that done, even if it's not going to fetch you any monetary value. In the end, it's going to be rewarding during your application. Technical and soft skills, I think that this is kind of a repetition, that whichever tools you are proficient in, and as it relates to the field of interest, if if you have uh, um both lab research skills and then field research skills, but what you are applying for is solely based in the lab, you highlight the lab research skills you have. But if you feel like there is a possibility to um, um, transfer also to the field, then you can bring both field research and lab research skills that you have. And as I spoke about the soft skills or the transferable skills, it could be communication, teamwork, problem solving, and adaptability. And when I'm talking about um, these skills, these are essential. You have to know how to effectively communicate with your supervisors. both in written and in oral. Apart from that, you should be able to communicate your research work among teams or wherever. If there is a need to attend conferences and stuff, you should be able to communicate. So you should show that you are proficient in communication, both in written and in verbal form. Also, maybe the kind of supervisor you're going to have has a lab and has a team, and you need to collaborate with the team members to run the lab and stuff. So teamwork is important. Of course, you're going to solve problems in your research work. And adaptability, I studied in Ghana bachelor's. I moved to Czech Republic to study master's, PhD. If I'm looking for opportunity, maybe for another study or another a job in Germany and stuff, I can show my adaptability in terms of the fact that coming from a different cultural background in Ghana to altogether a new experience in Czech Republic, having survived masters and PhD studies and still even working in in the system in Czech Republic, I can easily adapt to the condition in Germany, in Switzerland, or in the USA, which might not be extremely different from Czech Republic. So you have to show these skills because as an international student, you are probably moving from one culture to another, and you have to show that you have the ability to survive. You can be in India, you can be in Ghana, and still be able to prove your adaptability skill based on even the job that you did. For example, I studied agriculture and graduated with agriculture, but my first job I found was with Samsung as a sales executive, and I learned so quickly and was managing even some people under me in this situation. So that is also a way to show adaptability. It's not only about the cultural adaptability, but also how to transfer knowledge and adapt to a prevailing condition. And then global perspective. Also, that one can be part of adaptability, global perspective and diversity, international experience. If you have any, if you have a certain unique background that is needed. So a well structured, a well organized CV also is a way to communicate professionally, and then it should show you attention to detail. If I am your supervisor, I don't want to be reading um, a thesis with too many errors and simple grammatical errors that could have been checked and corrected. So if you are writing, let's say, a two-page CV and you are making too many errors, way too many errors, trust me, nobody will be interested in you because if you write 2 pages and I'm counting about 10 errors, 15 errors, what 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 does it mean to me if you are writing about 50 pages? And this is something you have to write basically about your own experiences. So you should demonstrate clarity um, in your um, in your CV. And in terms of presentation, we're looking at professionalism, how you organize your materials. Some of you some formatting that you put there, it are not necessary. So we will have a quick look at some of them. So I will just jump from the references, and then we can consider this quickly. Because I'm going to share the document with you, I'll run through them quickly to avoid um, taking too much time. So here we say that lack of clarity and organization. Please note here that if you are expected to provide a two-page document, don't think about compromising the font size. Don't reduce the font size to 20 to 10 to make it to put too much information on two-page. Don't compromise um The margins. I have seen, and I'm going to share with you one document where the margin has been compromised so much to put so many information. No, when they are asking you for a two-page maximum CV, you may have a lot of information that can be even up to 10 pages. What they are asking you for is that they don't need all the information. They want to also understand how you are able to bring out uh, the salient points. You are able to market yourself in few words. And I would like to read a research paper which is like 4 pages, but is able to present all the necessary information I need than to read uh, 50 pages research paper, you know. So take note, your organization and all those stuff should be incomplete and irrelevant information. Again, um, be sure to bring the critical sections and information that are needed for successful application, and for those that are not relevant, leave them behind. And then you have to highlight your achievements irrespective of how little it may seem to you. If for a semester you were awarded a certain academic excellence achievement, just put it there. If you emerged the top scorer in a particular subject for just even one semester, put it there. They're not going to ask you to uh, bring the marks of the other class members and stuff. You have to sell yourself so that people can buy you accordingly. Also, mismatch with the program's focus. Some of you have a one size fit it all um, CV for every program that you want to apply. Whether you are applying for natural resources and environment, whether you are applying for environmental engineering, whether you are applying for environmental science, whether you are applying for environmental and energy policy, you have one CV, you want to use it. No, no, just go through each program you are going to apply for. Look at the course outline, the course structure, design your CV to fit it. If out of the 50 courses you did undergraduate, only 3 of them align with the program, bring those 3 out and then use them, build on those. If from the numerous work experiences or professional experiences you have, 5 of them um, resonate with the application you are making, use those 5, not all the 10. And in this case, indicate relevant work experiences and stuff, because relevant work experience also um, brings out the possibility that you might have other experiences which are not relevant. And if you are leaving a gap here, gaps between your application, it can explain that. So don't be worried about highlighting those skills which are relevant. And then here I have talked about it, inconsistent timeline or gaps. If you are presenting dates and there are some gaps that are not accounted for, um, it can sound questionable. But if you can indicate some volunteering or internship job to fill those gaps, or you can extend the previous the jobs to cover those missing dates. So I think I would, for this presentation, I will end here, and then quickly I will try to show you 2 or 3 samples of CV, and we can discuss the various attributes, how well these were done, that how well they did the CV, how relevant they are, what is possible to change or improve, and um, we can learn from that. If you have any question, please kindly put it in the comment section, and I will address it eventually. Just give me a moment. I'm going to add another document that we need to use, and I will start with um, this one. All right, so here we have a CV. Of course, the I have removed the contact information or the personal information. So this is a CV that the person is going to use for a school application, and here it's a professional summary. I would say that I would prefer to use objectives or yeah get study objective or whatever. You know, this looks like it's more tailored for um job. Okay, now he writes so much dedicated and result driven biomedical engineer with ambition, blah 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 blah. All this highlighted in yellow. I would cut them off and talk about a dedicated result driven biomedical engineering seeking opportunity for continuous learning and professional development and to develop skills necessary for um, a well-rounded biomedical engineer, because I'm just looking for opportunity to study all the a solid academic background in engineering principle, biology, and medical technology and stuff. If you mention that you're a biomedical engineer, and if you are going to apply for another a study in biomedical engineering, let's say you have bachelor's in biomedical engineering and you are applying for um, um, MSc biomedical engineering, what it means is that the person who is going to review your CV probably knows that you have you have to have background in these courses already, so you don't want to bore them with so many repetition and explanation. Just go ahead with what you have and what you intend to achieve. That's it. Here the person put education. I'm hearing that you can't see the document I'm reading from. However, I also admonish that if you could use pieces, because oh wait, maybe I'm not sharing it. Let me be sure that I'm sharing it. Oh yeah, sorry. Can you see it now? Oh, okay. Yes, now you can see it. All right, all right. My bad. So quickly, we are looking at um a sample CV that someone wants to use for um, application, right? Here, I would say that maximum 2 to 3 sentences. Can you see the doc? Yeah, you can see it now. Good. All right. So here, I would say maximum 3 sentences are good enough, and I'm not going back. Where I have highlighted they are all necessary, and even writing committed to continuous learning and professional development and career achievement, knowledge and skills improvement. The end is too much, you know. I mean, that has to do with grammar and sentence structure, but I'm not going to dive deep into that. So let's continue. You see, he put education here, and then his education, sorry, the dates is going with education, which shouldn't be so. There should be education, and then the date should align with the particular program he's talking about. Here he talks about institution, all nations university. And then he comes to talk about undergraduate, Bachelor of Engineering, BE Biomedical Engineering, uh, total graduation, total GPA in 75 courses and stuff. That's a lot, too much. Um, I would say um, Bachelor of Engineering, um, All Nations University, all in the same line, and then I will put my date there, and then GPA 3.2 over 4. It's enough. In 75 courses, no, you're going to attach your transcript. You don't have to be too repetitive. And then again, he comes here to write program, Bachelor of Engineering. This all this can go. You can have just about 2 points, and uh, on the transcript among 5% of graduate in the, so quite incoherent. But let's move on to see what else there is. I like this. I like the research area of what he did. Wound healing property of shrimp shell, and then he highlights um the the topic or what specifically was done. Foot ulcer device prototype for diabetic patient. I will just leave it there. I will not add this further information, especially if it is very related to the field I'm looking at. But before I continue, look at this person. Oh, look at the margin you see here. This person has stretched the margin so much just to get 3 pages. And if I have to set it to the right margin, I'm going to get 4 to 5 pages, which if you send this to me and we're looking for 3 pages, you are disqualified just by this. And you may think that I'm telling you this because I am not admission officer, but if I become admission officer, that's exactly what's going to happen. So we have to be able to um, follow specific instructions in terms of the the organization, and also be able to present salient information other than putting everything and expecting the recruiter or the admission officer to decide which one fits us best. All these are, like I said, these are not necessary. These, but you've put them there to take space. This is not really necessary, but it's here. Research interest, design of biosensors and stuff. That's fair. That's fair. Relevant skills. That's fair. Um, professional. So here should be professional affiliation, not personal affiliation, because these are professional bodies that the person belongs to. So the caption should represent professional affiliations or professional membership, not a. About the professional training. That's training that he's undergone, and when he writes the kind of training and the date, he puts institution visited. All this, meanwhile, you've already indicated, and this is the only thing that is necessary. And one thing that is quite unprofessional is also the the dotted and lining underlining of various items. It doesn't seem professional. So um don't do that. Don't do that. This is not necessary, right? And here he puts also another uh training, and then he writes trainee, Ghana Standard Authority, GSA, Ghana. And when I interacted with him, I asked what the training, and he's saying the people who performed, who provided the training, and it's supposed to be trainer, not trainee. So that alone is showing a lot, and it's recurring here. Also, it's trainee here, also trainee, and all that stuff. Meanwhile, those information are not necessary, and it's even going to work against you. You just highlight the professional training you had, and then the date, and then you are done. Okay. So, and then work experience, relevant work experience, senior um, technician, bioengineer, and then everything there. Of course, responsibilities, and then again, let me quickly jump to the previous, some of the previous. Yes. Uh, okay, great. Quality coordinator. I was the focal person, blah 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 blah. We have already stated that there is no need to use personal pronouns. You can say you said you are a quality coordinator. So I coordinated, coordinated the quality management system, blah blah blah, in the department. You are done. Working with whoever it is not necessary. What you can add is the outcome of your coordination work. What did it result in? Were you able to improve some quality control measures? Were you able to offer a certain number of trainings to um, laboratory technicians and stuff? This is what you can add, not the people you work with in the department. It's not necessary. And then here he writes, coordinate all. This is something you did between January 2022 and October 2022. So why are you presenting it in the present form? So it's important to write past experiences in the past tenses or past form. Um, internship, yeah, yeah, volunteering shown, and then yes, referees are here. So that's what I have to say about this. For the want of time, I would I will I would I will stop with this one, and then let's see about the second example that I want to show. And please put in your question. Okay, I've seen some questions coming in. Put in, keep bringing your question, because after this I will just take your questions and probably end the session. Mm, Stop screen sharing. Present. Share screen. Yeah, sorry, this one you might see the name of the person, but it's okay because it was sent in a PDF format. So yeah, so I like a lot of them here, and these days there are some universities admonish that if you have LinkedIn profile, you can put it there. LinkedIn is more professional, but if you don't have any suitable information there, or you are writing rubbish there, excuse my language, you don't have to put it there, you know. So yes, here, and what I will comment on this one first is that with the address here, you are looking for, you are applying to international schools. You don't expect them to know to go and search for a country code for Ghana. So write your phone numbers, including your country code. That's very necessary. And then career objective, to be a, to be a challenging role in, to obtain a challenging role in logistics and supply, blah 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 blah. So this is more tailored for work, right? So um that's cool, because this is a person who just started national service. There is not too much experience to draw upon, to draw to draw from, to build a too convincing CV. Probably the only experiences might be internship and stuff if she had any. Yes, for just bachelor's, I would also admonish that you can add your high school. But if you have like bachelor's, master's, then there's no need to bring high school. This is cool. Um, what I will not, um, I don't think it's ideal is that the formatting is beginning to look different. This 7 starts on a different line from the Ghana here, and then I don't like the fact that the 2020 is has moved from here to, hey, wait, you cannot see. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Why am I doing this? Sorry, guys, because I'm juggling between two interfaces, so sometimes I don't realize that I'm not sharing it. Yeah. So where is it? Yeah. Here. Oh, sorry. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Agnes. Yeah. So all the dates must align. For example, again here she's showing that she completed September 2024. In the same way, she can show that she completed September 2020 here without bringing the 2027 here. So the formatting should be the same. They call something uh, unification. You have to unify the formatting, you know. So you don't use this here and that here. This is not this is not nice. This is not nice because you are having some dates at the end of the page. Oh, sorry, of the at the edges of the page, and then others you are bringing them elsewhere. It doesn't help easy reading or easy scanning. So that's something to correct. I can see that leadership experiences has been well indicated here. um, what I would rather do is that I would say, for example, auto path leader. I don't know how people outside the singing world will see it, but it's an achievement. It was a role where she demonstrated leadership among people, and if the job that she is looking to apply for is it requires some kind of leadership, she can draw on this. And also, like, exactly like the way she's put legal and advisory committee member, I will bring these ones first. I will bring this leadership role first before I put the Ghana National Association of so and so, so that it shows that I held this leadership role under this person. And of course, probably with time, she would acquire several other leadership roles, and these basic ones will not be relevant. But for now, that is what she has, and she's using it, which is good. And yes, this is what I was talking about: collaborated with, facilitated. You see, using the words in the past because this experience has been in the past. And yeah, referees. Okay, again, the contacts should always be with should always be with the country code where necessary. The last one, which I feel we can learn a lot from, is the. But before I continue with the last one, let me now tackle some of your questions, because I think that it's important for you to also contribute to the discussion through your questions. Mm. How appropriate is it to state available upon request under referees or reference section? That's a very good question from Manuel. I like this question, and it depends. It depends. Um, in Europe, I have seen some companies who do not require a reference. So if you don't put it, it's not a problem. You can use it available upon request if it is not mandatory. There are universities where, when you are applying to the universities, they ask you to provide the referee's information during the application process, and they will email the referee, um, and they will provide whatever recommendation to you. So that session is not necessary. So it's not necessary to um, provide, especially when you have limitation in the number of pages you have to present and you have a lot of information and you are finding it difficult to see. You don't need to complicate it with three or two references occupying extra space when you are going to put the referee's information in the application system. um I think either way, available upon request and providing the list is cool, or yeah, I would say are cool because it also shows that you have people who are on standby to watch for you. However, if you are going to include the referee, you have to inform the people you are putting them on that you are using them for application and probably they might be contacted. So they are aware. And when they are contacted, you are able they're able to respond appropriately. Otherwise, they will be unaware, they will be called, and they will not be able to defend you so much. Nanan Kansa, please, what is the standard font size and style required for CVs? The standard font size is 12 points, but I feel it should, yeah, readable, standard 12 in academic settings. Usually it's 12, whether you are using time news, roman, calibri, or whatever it is. 12 is the font size. You can use any readable font type. um, and then one thing I should put across is that if you are if you are applying to specific certain country, you can read about if they have specific requirement, because for some countries they have a specific requirement they want you to follow. Again, Anankansa, I am making a request on behalf of the attendees. Could you please consider editing the CV of those of us present? Oh yeah. I feel like first you would use this information to better your CV, and then probably I can have a look and give you some hints. I have done it for some people, so I think that's not a bad request though. So yeah, we can it can be done. Um, if you have any more question, please put it in the comment section and then I will respond. Let me share the last CV which I have, and then mm, it doesn't seem like I have it here. Oh, it seems I can't. Wait. All right, I think it seems. Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can share the entire screen. Maybe the entire screen would be okay. And then if I would mm, add to stage, actually I can share the. Yeah, I think now you can see. This is really not good. This is really not good. This CV does not have oh, sorry, I think I deleted the personal information, and you can see the font size is 11. um Wow. So when we come to the work experience, I will just point out few. Works as a part-time junior high school music teacher at Divine Christian School. This is not what is expected. What is required, and then even the date is not aligning with this. What is expected is that you tell what you do. Here you can work experience, music tutor at blah blah blah, and then you can enumerate your role, whether you are teaching children how to play piano. If you are teaching 20, 30, 40 people, at the end of the semester, how many of them are able to progress to a certain, or at the end of the term, how many of them are able to or pass their exams and stuff. You can state that worked as national service personnel, blah blah. Nobody knows what it means. You can say you can say um teaching assistant. Then you state the University of Ghana, and then what you did, arranging and scoring song for blah 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 and symbol and stuff. But seems a lot of. But I understand that the experience is not there. This is the first time the person is trying to, and you can see the organization is quite um not well done. So this will not really catch attention of how do we call it, of a potential recruiter, or I would say admission officer. So kindly take note about some of these things, and um, uh, take the opportunity to improve your CVs, because they are quite important. Before they will take your transcript, your certificates, your motivation letter and stuff, they have gone through your CV to get a gist or an idea of what they should expect in those documents. And so, if what to expect in those documents are not convincing in the CV, they probably would not consider you for the next stage. And so, if you are applying for jobs and you are not getting feedbacks, if you are applying severally to universities and you are not getting the valid responses that you want to, you have to check your CV and try to review it. Like Manuel is asking, if you don't have the expertise, if you are not so familiar with what to do, get somebody who can point out certain things for you, but you should put in an effort. If you bring me 5 page you want me to read, I will not. I would actually not do everything for you perfectly. I would put comments. I will review it, put comments, and explain to you why you should make this possible. You should change this and remove this. You do that, and then we go through the next step or the stage again and see how best we can come out. um Thank you for your response. I will I I would also like to know if it's appropriate to use table. Please don't use tables. Don't use tables for CVs. It's not desirable at all. Don't use it. And in most cases it's frowned at. Unless that particular country or wherever you are applying to is requesting that, or is asking that as a requirement, then you can go ahead and use it. Otherwise, I don't think it's the suitable form, because it can, once there is a single shift in your document, it would cause a mess. And also, if you are saving your CVs, save them with your names, because they may download several CVs, and then um now they're going to sort it out. Your CV, if it doesn't bear your name, might lost its way. They don't have to go and read through. So save it appropriately. And once you are convinced that your CV is well done, convert it to PDF and use the PDF versions, because then it's not editable, and so there is no possibility of someone infiltrating and clicking on your um, on your CV and changing anything. So please note. Um, if you don't have any question, today I I was hoping that there will be possibility to look at if you have if you have other time, we would look at the SOP motivation letters and stuff. I feel like sometimes you one guy, he is 3.4 or so. He's been applying to even the the less competitive scholarships, and he has not been successful, and he wonders. And when I saw his CV, I knew where the problem was, and we are working on the CV, and afterwards we're going to even compete on a higher scale. So here I would say that take time to read and build your CVs. Please, if you want me to share the documents I used with you, put the your email addresses in the information, sorry, in the comment section, and I will send them to you. But if you also have my other contact, you can reach me privately, and then I can share the documents with you. Thank you all for being present, and don't forget to share this information with people in your circle who will need this to better their chances of surviving or um, being successful with their study abroad and job application. Thank you, and see you some other time. Bye.